YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I am going to show you the rest of the knives that I've picked up in the past 2 weeks. Now, I've already done a segment about a few knives that I've already picked up. This is going to probably cap off the majority. I still have a few more coming in the mail, and I just didn't really want to wait for them. They're really just getting slow and getting caught in the mail and everything, so I didn't want to wait. I have enough already here to discuss and talk about in this video, and then I'm going to have reviews coming out on each of these coming up in the coming weeks. So without further ado, I am having a drink. It is a Tuesday night and the week has already been very hectic, and you guys are probably wondering what I'm having. I'm having Evan Williams Bottle & Bond. It's fantastic stuff. And so how should I get this started? Let me see here. Well, let me get started with the lots that I picked up on eBay. And I have to say, you have to hunt for these things. You really have to keep your eyes out. I do have an alert that goes to my phone, and I just kind of have to cycle through all the TSA stuff, and it's a little bit of a hassle, but it can be rewarding, especially if you're a Swiss Army collector. So the first two knives I'm going to show you are these two. This is a vintage climber, and to the best of my knowledge, this is probably from the early 80s, given all the aspects of the knife, and I'll go through those really quick. And then I picked up a Commander. So forgive me, and this will probably go for the rest of these knives. If you see a bunch of oil coming off the blades and stuff, I have oiled these. They needed a little bit of work. So if a bunch of gunk comes out and it lands on here, so just don't worry, it's all oil. And so here is a Wenger Commander. And I have a Wenger Commander, and I sold that one just because it just wasn't really what I wanted. It was pretty used. This one's in a little bit better shape. This one is in significantly better shape. This one's probably from the early 2000s. I do prefer these scales because this is actually an injected molded shield, and you can actually polish these over and over and over, and technically you could go all the way down to the rivets and the shield here would still be intact. So we've got the Wenger blade, then we've got the standard affair on the opening ends, and then we have the nail file over here, and you can see all that oil I was talking about. And then you have a very strong corkscrew, a lot stronger than the other one that I had, and then a very strong awl. So that's the Commander. This is an 85mm knife, and this one is probably one that I will be carrying. Then here is a Climber. Now this is a earlier one, so it doesn't have the hook on the back, which I'm starting to prefer. You have a nice fat spring here for the scissors, and it just kind of declutters it just a little bit. So these scissors I actually had to sharpen myself. They're in bad wear, but this one here is an older model, and it has the half stop, but it has no mid lock or soft lock on the cap lifter. And it has your standard affair, the can opener. The blade is in relatively good shape. I have sharpened that one up. I've been carrying this one also. And then the small blade is also in good shape. The corkscrew is the older corkscrew with the knurling in there, and then the reamer has no sewing on it. So this lot here I picked up for 21 bucks. And one of the great things about this lot was this was attached to the Climber. So this may have actually been bought in Switzerland and somebody put a Swiss Cross keychain on it. I think that's pretty cool. Definitely think that's pretty cool. So that's the first batch. The next one is another Climber. I picked this one up just for about 15 bucks. And I haven't really cleaned it up. I'm going to carry this one, but this one has no key ring. And I haven't modified it at all. This just didn't have a key ring. So this is a model where they just opted to not put a key ring on it. It does have some wear on the blade, and I think I'm just gonna have this one as a user. But this is very early 80s. It has no half stop on the cap lifter. and that is one of the features you can find that will date the knife. And then there's the standard can opener. It has the knurled bottle opener, and then on the back here it has no hole for the sewing eye. So this one is, I mean, it's in pretty good shape, but it is definitely used. It's going to be a user for me, but it's an older one, and I picked that one up for about 15 bucks. Now here is a modern huntsman. This one also is just a standard huntsman. I picked this one up for 23, and I really didn't need a huntsman, especially since one came in one of the lots that I wanted to show you. But I saw this and I was like, you know what, it would be good to have one that I could either give away, or if I lose one, I've got an extra. And the huntsman just has the scissors, has essentially everything else that a Spartan has, but it has scissors and a saw, and then it has your parcel hook on the back. So that is the huntsman. I picked that up for like 23 bucks. It's said pre-owned, but it's practically new. Now, I think I said I was going to go through the lots, and I kind of just got jumbled here. Let me see. I have a table back here and all these knives set up. One of these knives, I actually did a trade with a fellow viewer here. So you know who you are, and that knife is going to be coming up. But let me show you this lot. I picked this lot up for 50 bucks with free shipping. And this is a blue sapphire huntsman. And I mean, look at that blade. That is a brand new knife. This, to my knowledge, this is a brand new huntsman. This thing has only been used maybe a few times. And this is probably going to go in my wife's car, live in the glove box. But the reason why I went for the lot is it had a handyman. The handyman has a ton of tools. Has your large blade, has your small blade. Then it has a metal file. And then it has your saw. And then it also has a set of scissors. And then it has a set of pliers. And then it has your opening layer, which is cap lifter, and then can opener, small screwdriver, large screwdriver. And then on the back, it has a parcel hook, and it has a machinist's screwdriver. And then it's got a chisel, bottle opener, and then your reamer. I mean, for these things go for about 70, 75 bucks, sometimes 65 if you're lucky. Getting it for 25, I couldn't say no. I was debating if I was going to leave this one in my wife's car, but I don't really usually need all of this on a regular basis, but having something like this might be useful. So that was one lot, and I have to say that was pretty darn good. Now, let me see. So I did sell both of my Wenger Patriots. I did a trade with a viewer. He wanted a Wenger, two Wenger knives, and I gave him a Patriot. And I was thinking, you know what? I actually really miss having a Patriot in the collection. And literally that same day, I just typed in Wenger knife and was really hunting through. You gotta hunt for these things. But I found this Wenger Patriot. Now you're probably wondering, well, there's nothing really special about this one. I mean, it looks like the one you had before. This has this on the back. Wenger or Wenger since 1893, the genuine Swiss Army knife, and then Swiss, and then this is the crossbow and shield, and then Suisse in French, I believe. And I saw that and I was like, I have to get it. And this one here I picked up for 20 bucks. Now I mean, I don't think it's ever been used. I think it's practically mint. Maybe pocket carried a couple times, but look at that clip blade. That's fantastic. Now, this one here is going to go on my bookshelf, and it's probably going to be displayed this side out. And I just think this is really fantastic. Also, the key ring is very beefy. And I don't know if it's nickel silver or not, but that's a very thick key ring for just a small knife. So that is another one that I picked up. Let's see. So let me put these out as I've gone through. So there are those. Here's the older 80s climber. And then here's the modern huntsman. And then here is the sapphire huntsman and the handyman. And we've got, okay, and then here is the Wenger. Okay, so that kind of helps me out a little bit. Another one that I picked up, and I was really hoping it was going to be like this one, but it's actually older. It's from probably the mid-80s, and it's this Traveler. Now, this actually has let me see if I can pick it up, the aluminum inserted shield from Wenger. And as you can see, this thing is in very good condition. Most Wengers are really beat up, and this one here is in really good shape, especially for its age. The main blade is, again, practically pristine. I mean, I don't see any scratches on it. I mean, this thing was probably just bought and then put in a drawer. The tools are in fantastic shape. I have oiled them, but I mean, there's barely any wear on any of these tools. Now, the Traveler has the Wenger style scissors, and it's essentially like a small climber. And Victorinox used to make a climber small, which was 84 millimeters. This is 85. And it has the reamer, and then it has the corkscrew, and then it has the longer key ring that Wenger used to use. It's kind of annoying, but it came with the knife. But this one here is in such great shape, and then it has the nail file. But this one here is in such great shape, I'm just tempted not to use it. I mean, I was going to use it, but man, it's in such good shape. I think it would be a shame too, and I think I'm just going to have to make a private collection of Wenger knives that I'm not going to use, but just let appreciate and value. So there are the Wengers, and there's another one. And you know what? I'm going to show you the I'm not going to say it's the icing on the cake for all these, because these are all great, but a viewer here did a deal with me, and how could I pass it up? He traded me a, and I just blank on what this is called, because this is called a Victorinox Director. And this here is kind of like the Victorinox Broker, except this comes in the 74 millimeter frame, and this is an older one. So when he showed me the pictures, I said I had to have it because it has the single leaf spring here. And I don't have my dates exactly put together on the scissors, but I know that this is very early. This is probably early 70s, maybe even late 60s when they were using the single leaf spring, especially when it was a blackened carbon, I think it is, spring. And you can just see that this is definitely an older set of scissors here. So you've got the scissors. It's essentially an executive, but it has stainless steel covers. So then you have the nail file, and it has the older groove on that, or at least I believe that's the older groove. And so that's that side. Then on this side, you have a small pen blade. Then you have your main blade, but this is where it gets very special. The tang stamp is Hofritz. So Hofritz was actually an importer of Victorinox knives and cutlery, and then on the back here, it's Victoria. So this is definitely an older model. And then on this end, as I zoom back out, is the orange peeler. So this is very special. Now, I have to be upfront. We did the trade. I got it in the mail, and I have cleaned this up already. It wasn't in bad condition, but I just did a light polish on it. But I put in the ultrasonic to get everything cleaned out and really get everything cleaned out so I could get some oil in here. And the scales came off. Now, I don't know if they were using a specific epoxy, but the scales are epoxied on. So that was very interesting. I got to see the construction of the knife. It was interesting, I have to say. But I wasn't disappointed because there wasn't really a technology back then to do this kind of cover without either showing a rivet or having something fastening it. So for me, epoxy made sense. I just glued them back on. I actually used JB Weld to get these back on. So these are not coming back off. So that's a good thing about that. So that is the Director. And it's definitely an interesting knife, and it is a rare one. There's only one review of these on YouTube, and I'll probably have the second. And it's just a very unique piece. So I really do appreciate that deal. And then the next one, I actually have another one of these coming in the mail, but it is a Wenger Soldier. And I've been looking for a Wenger Soldier for the right price. These things are going for like 90 to 150 bucks now, in really good shape. I was able to get this for a very good price. And this is one from 2001 as I wipe off the oil off of here. But look at that blade. Look at that blade. That blade, except for the oil, let me see if I can get it really cleaned off here. Except for the oil, but that blade is nearly perfect. 2001. It's not that old. And then really good springs on this. Very good springs on this. But everything on this is in exceptional shape. This has the bail. And there are very subtle differences between the Victorinox Swiss Soldier's knife and the Wenger. I can't wait to make the comparison. But this thing is really, really nice. Now, what's really interesting is, in my research, I found out that Victorinox actually sold these can openers to Wenger. Wenger had to buy these from Victorinox and put them in their knives because that's what the Swiss, the Swiss code was, or the building contract of this knife had to include this. And Wenger at the time didn't have the rights to this. So that kind of worked out good for Victorinox. But this thing is in fantastic shape. This will probably go up on my bookshelf or in my safe, and it'll just sit there. I have another one coming in the mail, and I don't know what condition it is in, but this is, I mean, this is near mint. This is near mint. But that one is from 97. So it is older, but it does have the bail, and this bail is very, very firm. It's very thick. I mean, the steel on that is very heavy duty. But that is it when it comes to the new pickups. So I'm sorry that it's taken so long to get all of these, but I have to say I'm really happy to have all of them. And you just have to hunt. You just got to hunt for these on eBay and find what you like. And of course, have really nice people that are willing to do trades for you. So that is it for this video. I'm sorry it took a little longer, but I just had a lot of knives to show you, and just a lot to discuss, and a lot of tools to show off. And I have a few more coming. I'm not going to be doing any more of these videos for a while. I'm just going to be doing individual videos of the knife that comes in the mail as it comes. But I wanted to show you what all I've picked up. So thank you guys again for checking out my channel and my video. If you haven't already, subscribe and hit that like button. And if you see any of these knives that you like, let me know. And if you have an experience with these knives, let me know. And if you have some knowledge to drop down in the comments, let me know. Till the next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.